I made the sourdough croissant loaf about a week ago, I feel like now, and I have been thinking about making it with mini chocolate chips in it since then, so that's what we're doing today. We're gonna make the croissant loaf and we're gonna add in a bunch of mini chocolate chips. And then when it comes time for shaping, I'm also gonna try out some new bannetons I got, some little 5-inch ones, and make 4 mini loaves. I'm so excited. These are gonna be so cute. As always, we're starting off with 150 grams of our active starter, and now we're adding 350 grams of room temperature filtered water off our scale. Get it all whisked together. You never want to whisk on top of your scale because you could break it, so always take your bowl off the scale before you mix. And now for flour, I'm gonna add about 50 grams of this whole wheat flour, and then do the rest up to 500 total with this King Arthur bread flour. It just added that 0.1. It was at exactly 500. If you don't already know, that's one of my all-time favorite things. Finally, we're adding in our salt, and I'm adding in 10 grams of, I'm using some Celtic sea salt today. Off our scale, get it all nice and mixed up until we have our shaggy consistency. So now that we have our dough all mixed up, nice shaggy consistency, and I made sure there's no dry pockets of flour hiding anywhere in my dough, we're gonna cover it up. Leave this to rest for an hour, and we're gonna come back and grate up and add in some frozen Kerrygold butter and those mini chocolate chips. And I cannot wait for this loaf. Our dough has been resting for an hour, so now we're gonna go ahead and grate half of this unsalted Kerrygold frozen stick of butter. First half of butter done. This is going back in the freezer. And then I'm just gonna use a bench knife and pick up about a third of this butter and pour it over the top of my bread. And I'm trying not to touch it as much as possible so that it doesn't start to get melty. A nice sprinkling of some mini chocolate chips. Forgot to wet my hands. This helps with keeping the dough from sticking. Stretch and fold so it's all covered. Rotate our bowl. More butter. And I feel like the most important part to getting really nice layers in your bread and not having huge butter pockets is trying to make sure that the butter is super well distributed and there aren't massive clumps of butter anywhere in your dough. So I like this way of dividing it up amongst the stretch and folds. I feel like that just really helps to getting that disbursement and those nice layers going. So now this is just gonna get covered up for another hour, and then we're gonna come back and add the rest of that stick of butter, some more mini chocolate chips, and then we'll do one final stretch and fold, bulk fermentation, shaping, baking, all the good stuff, and we've got our mini loaves.